Hey you guys, welcome back to K&KInspiredCreations with Latara. So today I'm going to show you guys how I made 5 last minute Mother's Day gift ideas. So I started off by grabbing this really cute like ceramic vase from Dollar Tree. You could find it in the crafter square where all the crafting items are. And I'm just going to leave mine white, but you can always paint it a different color. It does accept paint really well. So I do have some spackle that I added purple paint to, and that's what I'm going to use to make my little flowers. So all I have is like this small star tip, and you just kind of start in the middle and then you kind of wrap it around yourself until you get it as big as you want. And it normally always looks like a star. I'm sorry, not a star, but a flower. I'm going to do some using the purple. I'm also going to do a couple in like a yellow as well as a white. You can do it any colors that you want. But that's pretty much all this is. It's not really too much to it. You're just going to make sure you grab your piping bag, piping tip, which you can get a lot of this stuff at Dollar Tree. Spackle, which you can get from Dollar Tree, at least you were able to in the past. I don't know if you still can. And yeah, and then just kind of pipe it. Get you some purple paint or whatever color you want to use. And so the majority of it already have mixed together because I've used it on other projects. But again, I'm just using the same tip, but this is just, yellow spackle. And I do want to take a moment to thank you so much for watching my videos. You can be watching anybody else's videos on the planet, but you're watching mine, and I'm so appreciative of it. If this is your first time here, welcome to my little pastel bakery corner of the internet. And if you're returning, hey, fake bake bestie, thank you so much for coming back. Here we create fake baked desserts, seasonal decor, and fun DIY pieces that look good enough to eat. So if that is your vibe, go ahead and subscribe. And so as you can see, I messed up a little bit. So that's the cool thing about spackle. You can always just wipe it off and, try again. So I felt like I had a little bit too much purple on there, so it kind of worked out in my favor. I ended up going over that spot with a white flower instead of redoing the purple. And then I think I'm going to be able to add only like 2 white flowers to this because, like I said, I did a lot of purple. So the next thing I did is I wanted to add some vines connecting the flowers to each other. So again, I had some green spackle already mixed together. And all I'm doing is just using like a circle tip. So not a flower tip or anything like that, just a basic small circle tip. And I'm just taking it and just kind of using like a vine that's connecting all of the flowers together. And as you can see, this DIY is actually very, very simple. Majority of the materials you can get from Dollar Tree, and it doesn't take spackle long to dry. So if you just let this sit overnight for like maybe 48 hours, it will definitely be dry to the touch after 24 hours, but I would give it more than that before gifting it to somebody. And so I did have these really cute little pink pearls that I thought would, add a little something to the little flowers. And so all I'm doing is taking it, dipping it in some Mod Podge. You can dip it into any type of glue. The purpose is just to make sure that it sticks and it doesn't come off. Because the spackle is still wet, it probably wouldn't come off, but I do like the extra security of dipping it in the glue just in case, so that it does kind of stay there, pretty much forever. And to see the end result, stay tuned for the final reveal. So with this tutorial, I'm starting off by putting the purple spackle. It's literally just spackle, and I added some purple paint to it. And you can use any type of paint that you want. I would recommend that it's acrylic paint, but you can use whatever brand. And I'm just putting it into a container. I added some water because it was a little dry. I mixed it together a while ago, added some water to it, and I'm just kind of mixing it together. And then I'm also taking just some white spackle. I'm not going to add any paint to it. You can always add white if you want to, but this is going to be like my whipped cream for my mug topper. So I want it to stay white, but I'm just adding this to a piping bag so that it's easier while I'm creating. I can just switch from one material to another without having to stop and kind of put it together. But again, a lot of these materials you can get from Dollar Tree. And so this right here is obviously a glue gun, but you can find like online on a Walmart or definitely Amazon glue sticks that are different colors. So this is like a chocolate brown glue stick, and the purpose of that is to make it seem like there's like a ring of chocolate at the bottom of the mug topper. You can use anything. You can use paint and Mod Podge to do that, but I just kind of wanted to use the brown glue. And also you can see that I took the white spackle and wrapped it around. That's going to, of course, be the whipped cream. And then on top of the whipped cream, I'm going to add the little purple scoops of ice cream. The main reason why I went ahead and did whipped cream first was to make sure that something was like attached to the chocolate, so that it all was one piece. And so the white spackle was the perfect way to do that. And then putting the ice cream scoops on top. And pretty much here you can just do whatever you want. I do have, I did actually invest in a set of ice cream scoops. It came in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. Basically depending on what my project is. Because once you use, you know, the ice cream scoops for, like with the spackle, you can't use it for actual food, you know, ever again. So just a FYI. So I just invested in a different like set for that was different from the one that was in my kitchen. So now I'm making a chocolate drip. I just took some brown paint, and then I took a whole bunch of glossy Mod Podge, put it into a container, and then shook it up, and it gives like literally the perfect drip for ice cream. And then I just topped off with the cherry. You can find these little forks or spoons at Dollar Tree. I always just break off the end of it and stick it into it to make it look like there's a spoon in there. And then the last thing I'm doing is just adding some sprinkles. And obviously you can get sprinkles off of Amazon. You can get sprinkles off of Temu if you don't mind waiting for them. They're cheaper that way. And then finish it off with a little bit of glitter. So you can pretty much embellish it, you know, however you want. You don't have to use purple. It's pretty much up to you. And so I'm just doing it all over again, as you can see, so that I knew how big to make it. That's the mug that I was planning on using for this particular mug topper. So I just traced it, and then now I'm just going around the outside of it with that brown glue from the glue gun. And I'm gonna do the same thing, add the white, you know, spackle on the inside as the whipped cream. And now I'm going to scoop some pink ice cream scoop. So this is more so like a strawberry. And yeah, so you can pretty much do it however you want. This one's going to be a little bit different than the other one. It's going to be like a little bit taller than the other one, but you can definitely, you know, modify it to whatever color. Like if you're giving this to your mom, you can modify the colors of it and use whatever, you know, colors work for her. Like if I was making this for my mom, I would either make it purple because she likes prints, or if I just wanted to go by her favorite color, I would make it like gray, and she will love it. So you can pretty much do it how you want. And again, stay tuned for the final reveal. So the fake strawberry margarita is probably one of my absolute favorite DIYs. I start off with some Mod Podge and some Epsom salt that I got from Dollar Tree and put it around the rim of the glass. And then I took some of this clear silicone caulk that you can get from any hardware store, and I am putting them into basically 2 different containers. These cups are small, that's why I'm putting them into 2 different ones, but you can put them into one if you have a bigger one. I'm using my favorite pink in the world. It's by Apple Barrel, as well as a little bit of red paint from Dollar Tree. And I'm just mixing it all together to get the color that I need. Oh, and the pink is, like I think I said, from Apple Barrel. It's called Bright Magenta. So I literally just added some salt to it to give it the texture of what a margarita looks like. If you've ever had a margarita, you know what I'm talking about. And after that, I just ended up, you know, scooping it into the glasses. So to kind of not even fill up this kind of large margarita glass, it took a whole container of the silicone caulk. So to do 2 glasses with the same amount, I had to use 2 different containers of silicone caulk. But you can do 1. I just, you know, kind of wanted to do 2 because I had 2 glasses. But yeah, so after that, all you're doing is just you know, scooping it into the margarita glass, and you want to do that with both of them. And while you're doing that, you want to go ahead and use something. As you can see, I'm using a popsicle stick, and you just kind of want to smooth it down, because it's going to want to stick to, you know, whatever it is that you're using, whatever you're scooping it with or whatever. Silicone caulk is very, very sticky, so it wants to stick to everything. So once you start to smooth it down, it starts to want to stick to itself, and that's kind of how I get it to you know, smooth down, or, you know, whatever, into the glass. But like I said, you can use as much as you want. You can only use half. Like, it's pretty much whatever you want to do, but I love the way that this turned out. It looks so real. I also, well, I actually got it from Temu. You can get them on Amazon as well. But I am going to add some embellishments into this. And the embellishments that I'm going to use is going to be a strawberry as well as a lime. And like I said, you can get strawberries, fake limes on Amazon or Temu. So for this DIY, I ended up starting off with some air dry clay. There's two places I get air dry clay: Designs by Janira on Facebook or Amazon. And also I recommend getting this cute little red waffle and print thingy that I got off of Amazon. If I can find it, I will link it in the description. But this is what I use to make my waffle cones. And yeah, so all I'm doing is taking it, and you want to play with whatever air dry clay it is, because if you don't, you want to warm it up at least. If you don't, 9 times out of 10 it will crack as it dries. But yeah, so I am just kind of playing with it, warming it up a little bit, and then I'm going to put it on top. And then I'm going to use my rolling pin that I only use for crafting. I don't use it in the kitchen, to kind of roll it out to get the texture that I want, and get it as, you know, thin as well as the thickness that I would like. And so as you can see, when you peel it off, it gives this beautiful waffle texture. So I am using a heart cookie cutter. I don't know where I got it from, probably Temu. And I'm just cutting out some hearts, because I am making like cream filled heart cookies for Mother's Day. And so I'm going to make 4 of these. I'm only going to show you 2 of them right here. The next thing I did is I am going to grab some more of that air dry clay, and I'm going to smooth it out. I'm not going to use the texture this time, because this is going to be the bottom of it. And so since it is the bottom of the cookie, it doesn't really need the same waffle texture or whatever. It's not really necessary, because you're never really going to see it. So I'm just using different, like a acrylic, really small rolling pin thingy that I want to say I got from Dollar Tree a long time ago. But you can also get it on Temu, Amazon, all that good stuff. And yeah, so then I'm using that same cookie cutter, because I want them to be the same size. And so I'm just counting out, or cutting out, the amount that I need. I'm only going to show, I think, 2 of them, but I'm going to use 4. And so now, like I said, this is a cream filled cookie, so I am taking some white air dry clay, and I'm going to pretty much do the exact same thing that I just did with the brown or the cookie dough, and play with it to kind of get it warmed up so it doesn't crack. Then I'm going to also roll it out kind of thin, because this is going to go in between both of those cookies that we just saw. And I am going to use that same cookie cutter, because like I said, I do want it all to be kind of the same size. And yeah, this DIY was fairly easy. You've probably seen it before, because I also did the same thing for some Easter cookies. So yeah, you can make a ton of them at one time using different types of cookie cutters. Very fun. And so what I'm doing now is I'm adding some silicone glue. Silicone glue you can get off of Amazon, Walmart. And I'm putting silicone glue on there. And then I'm going to add my cream, and I'm going to do another layer of silicone glue. And the purpose of that is just I want it to make sure that it's going to stay. Everything is still wet, so 9 times out of 10 it will adhere perfectly fine without the silicone glue, but I like to just be 100% sure. And then I'm just adding the top part of the cookie on there. And as you can see, those are the Easter ones that I made for Easter, and I made those into magnets. But yeah, and so now I wanted to kind of embellish them a little bit first. So for these first ones, I'm going to use the silicone molds that I got off of Temu, and I'm using some white air dry clay, and I'm basically just going to spell out the word mom, and I'm going to put that on 2 of my cookies. And then I am also going to use another silicone mold that I got off of Temu. And I'm going to do like icing, like fake icing all the way around the cookies right here. And one thing that I do before I put any like air dry clay into molds is I do take a little bit of, I mean, you can use any type of oil. I like to use baby oil, and you want to put it in there, kind of smooth it out a little bit. That just makes it easier to get the air dry clay out of the mold. Otherwise, a lot of times it likes to stick, and I really don't care how good your clay is. The clay wants to stick, and normally it does. So that's just another way of getting it out. And this is another one of those DIYs where you're able to pretty much just embellish it however you want. This is how I did it, but you don't have to do just cookie dough color and white. You can do a pink, purple, whatever their favorite colors are. Do any type of embellishments. For this one, I'm doing 2 different embellishments. This is the first one, and then once I finish this, I'm going to show you the second one. And the second one, I literally, before I even show it to you, the second one, I literally just took some puffy paint that you can get from Amazon or Walmart or wherever, any craft store, honestly. And I'm just going to kind of like zigzag it across my other 2 cookies, because that's just going to be like a chocolate drip. So you got one that's a little bit more intricate, and then you have one that's just very simple. And like I said, for these, I did a chocolate drip, and then I also did like a white icing as well, but you can do it however you want. And so finally, here's the final reveal. Here is the margaritas. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Please do not forget to also leave me a comment. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. Let me know which one you would give to your mom if you would change the colors, and let me know if you're going to try one. If you are going to try one, please follow me on the social so that you can show it to me, because I love to see people who recreate some of the stuff that I make. It just makes me feel all warm inside. But yeah, these are all really quick DIYs that you can make for moms, all the beautiful moms in your lives. And yeah, it won't break the bank. So as I always say, until next time, keep it sweet and keep it creative.